Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are going to break down a pretty major weather event that's unfolding all across South India. If you've been wondering what's up with all the rain, you are definitely in the right place. We're going to get into the what, the where, and the why of today's forecast for October 13th. Okay, let's just dive right in. The main event, the big story, is a pretty significant cyclonic circulation that has set up shop near the Coromorn Sea area. This thing is basically the engine driving all of today's weather. But the real question is, right, who's going to get the heaviest downpours? Let's figure it out. Before we get to the specific locations, I think it's really important to understand why this is all happening. When you see the science behind the forecast, the whole picture just makes so much more sense. So what exactly are we dealing with here? Well, at the heart of it all is this, an upper air cyclonic circulation. Now, that sounds a bit technical, but just think of it like a massive invisible vortex spinning way up high in the atmosphere. And as it spins, it's literally pulling up huge amounts of moisture from the sea and then carrying it over land where it gets released as rain. Now, what's really fascinating about this setup is that it's not just one single thing. It's kind of like a team effort. You've got these large atmospheric waves, the MJO and Rossby waves, setting the stage in the Indian Ocean. Then you have our main circulation stretching all the way over to the Arabian Sea, and it's being helped by a weaker one a bit further north. And where these systems meet, they create this zone of friction, a wind discontinuity, which acts like a trigger, basically squeezing out even more moisture and making the rainfall that much more intense. All right, so now that we've got the science covered, let's get down to the specifics on the ground. We're going to start over on the west coast with Kerala and Karnataka. For Kerala, the focus is squarely on the mountainous regions. The Western Ghats, especially around Idukki, are on alert for some heavy to even very heavy rainfall. Most of central and southern Kerala can expect some good, moderate to heavy rain, probably with some thunderstorms mixed in. But as you head north towards, say, Wayanad and Kozhikode, the intensity really drops off, with just light rain expected in some spots. Now, moving north into Karnataka, the southern interior is really where all the action is. Bengaluru, Kolar, Mandya, Hassan, they're all looking at widespread moderate to heavy showers. But notice the pattern here. The farther north you go and the closer you get to the coast, the rain becomes much, much lighter. Let's shift our focus and head east and see how this weather system is going to be affecting Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Okay, for Andhra Pradesh, this is the crucial point. Chittor district needs to be on high alert. The forecast here is for heavy to very heavy rainfall. This makes it one of the primary impact zones for the entire region today. And it's not just Chittor either. The rain is expected to be pretty widespread across Andhra Pradesh. A whole bunch of districts, from Nellore and Tirupati in the south, all the way up to Visakhapatnam and the Godavari regions in the north, are all forecast to receive moderate to heavy rain. Over in Telangana, the rain is a bit more targeted. There's a specific belt of districts, including Wanaparthi, Warangal, and Khammam, that's forecast to get some heavy spells. For most other areas, including Hyderabad, the rain will be less intense, generally in that light to moderate range. Okay, now let's turn our attention to Tamil Nadu, which is forecast to see some of the most extensive rainfall from this system. And given just how many areas are affected, we really need to break this down region by region. And right at the southern tip of the country, we have another special alert. The Western Ghats areas of Kanyakumari district could see some serious spells of very heavy rain today, making it another key area we need to watch very closely. So looking at the broader southern districts, the rain is just going to be widespread. From Kanyakumari all the way up through Tirunelveli, Tenkasi, and Virudhunagar, you can pretty much expect moderate to heavy rainfall across the board. The Western Ghats region is a major focus. Places like Valparai, Kodaikanal, and the districts of Coimbatore and the Nilgiris are all in for moderate to heavy rain. And this is important. Within these areas, some isolated spots could get hit with some very intense, very heavy spells. As we move into the Central Plains and the Delta regions, the rain stays pretty significant. Madurai and Dindigul are likely to see some heavy rain, while that entire Delta belt, from Thanjavur down to Trichy, is expecting widespread showers. And don't think the northern districts are getting left out. A vast area covering Salem, Dharmapuri, Vellore, and Kanchipuram will also get a good soaking of moderate to heavy rainfall, as this system really makes its presence felt across the entire interior of the state. But, and this is a really big but, here's where the pattern shifts. Right along the immediate coast, the story is completely different. For Chennai, Chengalpattu, and Pondicherry, the forecast is for lighter rain, mainly light to moderate showers. This is a key distinction from the much heavier rain falling just a little bit inland. Okay, wow, we have just covered a lot of detail. So let's zoom out for a second and look at the big picture. What is the single most important thing to take away from today's forecast? This right here captures the main story for today perfectly. All the energy, all the action, all the heavy rain is concentrated over the interior districts across the southern states. Meanwhile, the immediate coastal belt is getting a comparatively lighter dose for now. But this is just for today. The weather is dynamic, right? It's always changing, and it's about to change again. Over the next day or two, easterly winds are set to strengthen from the Bay of Bengal. Now, this is a really significant development because it means the entire rainfall pattern is going to shift, bringing more rain towards those coastal districts that are relatively dry today. So, that leaves us with a final thought to consider. The weather pattern is in transition. The focus of the rain today will not be the focus tomorrow. The question is, as those easterly winds pick up, how will the forecast for your specific town or city evolve? Thanks for joining this explainer.